Let's get this party started. I think we're live on YouTube and on Twitch. We're ready to go. Wait for some people to come in and then we'll start our day. We just had reset an hour ago. I just woke up about an hour and a half ago, took a shower, did some laundry, and now I'm ready to stream and see what's going on with all these changes they made and take some. We're gonna make a spreadsheet over here of the top DPS that we can, like top early game DPS and then top late game DPS, because it is very different. And even really early game here, a Rosier I think is just killing everybody when it comes to the multiplier, damage multiplier with the fire weapon. I don't think there's anybody else that can compete. It's pretty insane. Okay, let's make this. This looks pretty small though. Let me see the text on this. Why does everything look so small? Text 12. Hold on 1 minute. $14. Okay, but everything here is, wait, go back. Extremely small. At least in those sections. All right, let's make these bigger. Make this one bigger. And then text, for all the text areas we're going to put in here, I don't know what size. 10 seems awful small. You know what? Screw it. We'll just make these bigger. Resize row to 40. I can read that. What is that, 10? Guess I can read that. Font size 10. Yeah. All right. See if that works. All right, so we're looking at Arthur. If we look at Arthur's Wind S3, because there was just a video posted on like a short clip of Arthur doing crazy damage with his S3 with the Wind on Boar, but it's deceiving because really that's in-game gear, some whale, and then they probably have him skilled. And if you look at Arthur skilled, it's not a. The funny thing is Arthur even skilled is only 383 plus 96 if they're frost. He starts out at 218. So Arthur, even with Chivalry 8, has never been amazing damage. But even still, if you can book them, right? Which nobody can book their heroes right now. If you're free to play, if you're a low spender, there's no way you're destroying Crom, the Crom dungeon, and getting tons of books every day to level up your heroes. Right? This dungeon is extremely difficult. I could probably do 4. Yeah, I could do 4 right now. And you do 5 runs, and I don't know how many books you get, but it's going to take you such a long time to level up even a rare, because the skills go randomly into, you know, you don't want their S1. You don't care about their basic ability. Doesn't even go up much, right? You want that third ability to go up, or the second ability if you're using that all the time. And the third here, his multipliers go up 33%. But 33 times 5 plus 218 is still only 383 damage. And then if we go to Rosier's Fire Flame, actually is what it's called, Flame Relic, she starts out at a base of 355. Now, it doesn't go up, but as far as like the best hero to have when you start playing the game for quite a long time, obviously it's going to be Fire Rosier. You just can't compete with 355%, plus she gets the hook, small percentage to do the hook, which has its own attack multipliers on it. It's wild, like really wild. Super bad RNG, and I haven't had this Flame Relic show up in my relic shop in 15 days. It's kind of sad. I think they need to do a better job with this, because when it comes to something so pivotal with a relic that's so powerful that you're looking for, if this is completely RNG, which it is, it's different for every account too. You're going to have completely different heroes than I have right now, completely different relics. The relics on the left-hand side every week, the right-hand side every day. And I still have not seen Rosier's Fire Flame Relic. Really sad. Start 3 days ago. Welcome. I'm sitting on Chivalry for rares. You're going to dump them into K? Yeah, if you have her Chivalry, dump them into K. It's worth it. If you have a lot of the rare Chivalries are worth it, man. They're good. In the long run, they're going to be really good. Loving this game, dude. Thanks for the video. Hey, thank you. Appreciate everybody joining me. Revamp, what's up, my man? Good to see you. Super bad RNG to make 35 plus rings with no attack speed. Now, I don't know if that's super bad RNG. It could happen. Did you check Turin, her skill 3 with the flame weapon? Looks promising. The one where she gets additional damage based off of resistance? Because there's a lot of those. There's a lot of different heroes that do that. Based off of resistance or attack. Somebody even, like, this is going to be a real, at in-game, Clementine with her damage based off of, what was it? I think it's, oops, we got to go to her. I think with her, it's with the chivalry, right? Does she get additional damage based off of, what is it? Maybe it's a different relic. No, I thought it was her skill 3. Gets additional damage based off of effect accuracy or something like that. I know it's somewhere around here. I can't find it right now. It's got to be in those chivalries then, or maybe it's her passive. So many things we got to look at. I wish they'd put the passives and the skills together. Increased attack gauge. Here it is. So attack enemies 4 times, damage dealt. Each point of effect accuracy increases the total damage by 2%. And she'll do this a lot. If you have this passive maxed out, and then also if you have her Chivalry 8, she has a chance whenever any of your allies are attacked to do this. And even if she's sleeping, she'll still proc that again. I need to get her Chivalry 8 so I can play with it. Right here, we got a 10% chance to do that ability, basically. You're going to knock back their ultimate gauge, do this damage, and if you have really high effect accuracy and she keeps doing this, it's pretty sweet. Who's your main right now? Rosier Flame? Yo, OP Gamer, what's going on? I'm here. Boogeyman in the house. Let's go, man. Let's go. Is the banner worth summoning on? Absolutely. If you're not summoning on that Bedivere banner, then yeah, you need to. Any kind of crystals you have, don't. It's the same cost, so don't summon on the other banner, on the basic banner. Summon on the Bedivere banner. Much better. Because if you get Bedivere, he's game-changing. You want him for damage. Oh, speaking of Rosier, I really wish there was a rare relic selector or something along those lines. Something like that, right? Okay, let's look at, what were you talking about? Oh, you were talking about the resistance multiplier on Turin. Now, I like her, and I actually use this girl quite a lot for her increased defense, like all the time. I run her here, and she just does the recovery over time. She does the increased defense and the increased effect accuracy to make sure we land our debuffs. And I believe it's the increased defense is very strong. It keeps my team alive where I wouldn't be able to beat some situations. Like going through that Crom 4 that you saw, I'm pretty sure I have her in there to keep me alive from all those hits because I just don't have the gear to mitigate the damage. But with her doing this, easy times. Where is the damage based off of resistance? Which one is it? The flame one? Attack one enemy 3 times. We do 123 damage. Each point of resistance increases the damage per hit. Well, the thing is, it's really strong because look at these multipliers. 33%. And then if we get, well, let's see. Let's do the math on this one. We have Tauren. Let's put her on the list over here. Flame. And her S3 is 123 plus 1.5. Where's that percent button on the Japanese keyboard? There it is. Per attack, per resistance. Now, if we max that out, that's going to be, what is it? Where'd it go? Okay, 33 times 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is 165 plus the 123. So 288 max. 288% of attack, which her attack, you know, depending on what gear we put on her, and then so I don't know. It's not as awesome as some other stuff. If we just look at the sheer numbers, what was Rosier's 355? Hold on one second. because everything looks cool, but we got to have some numbers to compare it to. Otherwise, we're just like, yeah, that's cool number, but is it really? We got to compare them to other heroes and see what they're working with. So hers doesn't go up at all. It's just 355 attack always, but it's the strongest starting, not the strongest ending. It end game with lots of books, but definitely close to it though. Like still surprisingly crazy high. And then she gets the hook percentage, 10%. All right, and then her max is still 355 with the 10% hook. Right? 10% hook. And what's the 10% hook do? I need to look it up. I need to look up those multipliers. I think it tells us on... Doesn't the hook damage tell us somewhere? Where is this? Somewhere I thought it said something about hook damage, or maybe it changes here from Frenzy Crimson. No. Does it tell us anywhere where that damage is? Like the multipliers on it. 80%, 90%, 100% for those hits. Stu, just subbed, brother. Hey, man, appreciate that. Thanks for the love. Lost after sinking so much into Bond? Did you? Feels like starting new? Yeah, it's different, right? We can't just beast through things that we could before, which is good. It's a struggle now. I can't do stage 10 of Boar anymore like I could with Bond. I need to redo my team and see what else I can come up with. Getting down the shields is the biggest thing for me on Boar. Once the shields are down, I can do damage. I've got heroes to do damage, so I just need multi-hitters. But before with Bond, I could go in there so fast, so many times, and just destroy Boar. But I was in 4-star gear, and I didn't even have my guy maxed out. That's stage 10. You're not supposed to be doing in-game content with some overpowered rare in lame-ass gear. That's not the way games work. So yes, of course, he had to be balanced. And now it's challenging again, which is great. It makes it so we have to rework our accounts, look at gear, look at other options, and make great teams. So this is a good change, always. Flame Weapon has the multiplier. Oh, Flame Weapon. Yeah. Okay, so if we look over here at this, look at my spreadsheet. We're up on YouTube, right? Yeah. Just wanted to double check that. Yep. Okay, good. So if we look at the spreadsheet here for our numbers, can you see it? Is it small? Oh, can you guys even see me right now? Oh man, I didn't have my alerts. There we go. I didn't have anything to where you could see me. What's going on? Welcome everybody. Good morning from Japan. It is 10:23 a.m. I didn't know I was dark. I was blacked out. Okay, if you look at the numbers right next to my head, we've got Arthur at 218. Right, Arthur at 218 on a skill 3, and then if you have skill books, which are 5 increases into that, 5 of 33%, he goes up to 383 at in-game, plus 96 additional attack percentage, 2 Frost with the Wind Relic on a skill 3. Rosier just starts out at 355, like the highest starting you could imagine for her Flame Relic. So let's say if you re-roll, maybe you want to re-roll till you see her Flame Relic in the shop, right? You're re-rolling till you get a legendary, and then you're re-rolling till you make sure that the Flame Relic pops up and you grab that to start off with right away. That could be a thing because, again, I'm 14 days and I haven't seen it yet. Finally, attack speed ring. Nice. Crafted 40. Congrats. Mr. Bill, you're on YouTube. Okay, I can see you. How do you upgrade the passive move? You just started playing the game. You have to go through story. You got to beat normal story, and then I think on hard is when you unlock the dungeon to be able to do that. I've got it notated somewhere around here, and we're going to do a beginner guide to go over all that stuff very soon because global launch is right around the corner, but I think I have it pinned. You get your passives unlocked on 1-4 hard, so you got to beat 10-7 normal, which is the Crom fight. Once you can do that, you go on to hard and you get some really good rewards for 3-starring all those stages. And you unlock the passives, then you unlock the relic upgrades on 2-7 hard, and then your skill upgrades and those bosses on 5-7 hard. So you want to push that story as quickly as possible. Keep pushing that story. And then her max is 355 with the 10% hook, whatever the hook damage is. 10% to activate the hook. But then we come down here to Torin, and you're talking about her resistance increase, right? Every point of resistance increases your damage by 1.5. So instead of having a attack on her, like attack percentage, I don't know what artifacts, what do they call it? Equipment slot has resistance as a main stat. You could have it on there, but I don't think it's going to be as effective, because even maxed out, she's 288. And then you're pumping a whole bunch of resistance into her, along with, I guess, your crit rate, critical damage, because you're trying to do damage with her then. Just depends on how high we can get that resistance up, right? I don't know if there's, because we had speed on the ring, we had speed on the orbs. I don't remember where resistance is. Can't we look at gear a different way? Not like crafting, stat change. I guess we could look at it. We can see it here in our inventory, but all we can do is sell here. We can't. All right, so if I go to main stat resistance, it's only going to show me what I have available, right? It's only going to show me the ones that I have with resistance as main stats. It's not going to show me everything, but there is a button we can pick, and it'll pull up there is a button in here that will pull up the whole entire website. Where is it? Not source info. Where was it? When we craft? There's a button right next to gear somewhere to where it will take us to the website, right? Can't debuff her, and she has perma evasion buff. Are you talking about the skill 2? With the evasion increase? Who are we talking about? Are you talking about a boss? With her S2 buff. Yeah, but if you're doing her S2 buff all the time, you're not doing her skill 3 damage. You're just getting... And I agree. The evasion buff is awesome for your team. Like everywhere, the evasion buff is really sweet for the Flame Relic. Evasion 2 for 2 turns. Straight out the gate. Yeah. This is good anywhere to progress. It's almost like I'm doing right now when I'm using her defense, because the increased defense is really game changing. 2 stacks of increased defense, but you're getting 2 stacks of evasion is going to be pretty wild, because you take no damage when you evade. So if you have her flame and you're using this along with, maybe you bring in a healer with her, you bring in this, you still get the recovery over time. If you have her chivalry 1, then you have your deep 2, like a DPS, and then Morgan to increase that DPS. The add button, which one was it? It was the add button. The add button, like a plus sign? Where do you see that? I know I've been into it plenty of times and I've pulled up the information. What the hell? Where is it? Lock, gear. They have endurance. Probably not the best for auto, but very good. Hey, I hope you're doing well too. Yeah, OP Gamer, I still don't see the add button that we're talking about. I thought I saw it in the crafting shop easier. Stat info. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, see, the crafting shop will bring it up. That's the only place I know to go to. So resistance. If we're looking for resistance main stat, we've got recovery, effect resistance. Right there. On the belt, we've got evasion on the orb to go with her evasion skill 2. So there's not even a lot of places that have main stat resistance. Necklace. That's 2. I guess that's pretty good, but I don't know. I don't know if I'd really go hard into that. We'll have to see later on when we have more gear and more options, because right now I think it's kind of hard to do it. And she's really, you're going to be running her probably as support, not as your main DPS like that. But it would be cool to see, right? But from 288 and 1.5 per resistance, I don't think it's going to compete with these 383, 355. And again, Rosier is 355, like just base. 218 base up here with Arthur, 123 base with her. It takes work. Like, it takes so much time to get these skill books right now. So much time. Okay, what other heroes have you seen that are insanely powerful? There are a couple if we use skill books, and I want to do a video on all the rares that are in-game badass, right? in-game crazy. Now, if we look at multipliers for Bond on even his Storm Relic right now, he gets a 30, I don't know, his is weird. Like everybody else is 33, 33. This guy gets, where'd my calculator go? I feel like I'm opening a whole bunch of calculators. I am, I've got multiple ones open. He has, what, 25 plus 30, 35, and a 40. So 130 added plus attack speed increase rate 10%. What is that? Oh, just increasing this chance to apply this buff. So he goes from 90 to 130. Which isn't high like these others. It's nowhere near the max amount of 383 that our boy over there can get. Arthur. Max skill books, but we are getting the increase in speed, but that speed is kind of out the window a little bit because they've nerfed this so much. 0.4 speed. Okay, let me see. This is Bond win. .4% speed. Now, if we look at a couple other ones, like the Fairy Girl I played back in beta, who hits randomly, she's got some crazy multipliers on her skill 2. We're not even talking about skill 3 now. We're talking about some awesome skill 2s. This lady with her skill 2, and then Niklaus with his skill 2. Now, granted, they're going to do good damage on their skill 2s and hit random targets, but is it a lot? Because this multiplier isn't going up. The number of targets is going up, so it's going to go up to 400 and whatever 8 times 4 is. What is that? 32? So it's going to go up to 432, which seems like Arthur's max is 383, but that's single target. These are 4 random attacks. So it could go to anybody. Like 4 random attacks aren't as useful normally. If you want to take down boar and you're going straight for the boar, you don't want random attacks to hit the tusks. You want all the damage to go on the boar itself. But this is, again, a skill 2 instead of a skill 3. And I like that about this. So this guy starts out at 108 percentage times 2. Total is 216. And then he's going to end at 108 times 4 once we have him maxed out. And I think it's strong, yes. And I like what else this guy, like this guy is so much fun to play. If you haven't played him in the favored dungeon and make it through some of those waves with the humans, not with the big golem guy that you fight with the shield, but in the favored dungeon, use this guy with Bedivere because you're going to get Bedivere. Streamer, not a math. Oh, what was I saying? What was the mathematician? Did I get the number wrong? That's why I got a calculator over here, man. Yeah, I'm a streamer. I'm not a mathematician. That's right. That is 100% correct. Times 4, and then we're gonna get. Let's see if I can find these. The plus sign and all the equal signs and stuff are different on the Japanese keyboard. It's like you can't even find this stuff. Okay. Yeah. What was the overall damage? What did we say? Yeah, I was right. 32. Yeah. 432. Man, I can't find this stuff. Okay. This thing's killing me. I've got so many champs built. I've tried to build a lot of champs because I want to test them out. If I can't play them myself, I can just talk about numbers, which a lot of YouTubers do. A lot of YouTubers are like, this guy's good, and then all they do is recite numbers. But you got to actually play these characters to know how they're going to function and what they're doing. You know, you got to get your hands on them. A lot of times in a lot of these games, what you read is not actually what always happens. This one seems to be pretty good about it, though. But it's not always that way. What about Gareth and her true HP damage? Is that from her Chivalry 8? Because I'm close to getting her Chivalry 8. Or I think I'm close to it, but I don't have it yet. Let me see. Who is this guy? This is Nick. And then we're going to do Andion. Is that her name? How do you say this fairy's name? This one. Ardion? Arduin? I think it's Arduin, right? Arduin. That sounds kind of like what that would look like. But a lot of these names are very old. Old from, you know, Arthurian legend. And they're not always said the way that I would think. The attack plus damage for a Bond Storm Relic, S3, is additive, not multiplicative. So at attack speed, whatever its speed modifier. Yeah, so at his max, you think it's gonna be 220 and not 288? I think they're additive. I think these attack multipliers are additive. Have you tested them yet? Because that is also very different in a lot of different games, and different depending on the stat in a lot of games. Because even in Raid Shadow Legends, there are stats that you would think that would be additive or multiplicative, and it could be very different. Based off of base speed instead of total speed, and then it could be, it's all different. You can see that max breaks into the, oh, honest, you can. I don't even have to do math. So it is. All right, Bond. Okay, this is good. This is much better than me doing it here. So Bond. How does Bond go up to 220? 220 to the 1. So what is Arthur's? $383. I have $383. Okay. And then what is the other one we were looking at? Turin? Where'd she go? $288. Yeah, I got that right. That's additive. Yeah, and then plus the skill ups. Yeah, base and then plus the skill ups. So it's right. What we have up here is right for all those. I think I just didn't add the Bond ones correctly. That's all. Yeah, all that's right. Okay, let's look over here at the Kloss guy with wind. 108 times 4. Right? Yep. Okay. And then this little fairy girl, she's going to do some serious damage. Even now, she does some really good damage. So we've got her. She comes to us as fire. She attacks 2 random enemies 3 times, but it's damage per hit at 120. Now this is maxed out. But 2 enemies 3 times? We're talking about 6 times 120. That's got to be like one of the highest multipliers that we know of, right? So this is going to be maxed. Is 6 hits, right? At 120. Yeah, she is really a high damage dealer. I don't know why anybody hasn't leveled her up yet. I think the main reason is because she's random. She's going to attack random targets. So again, if we're going into Boar and we're trying to just take down Boar immediately, she's going to hit tusks. But going through different dragon stages, I don't think it's bad. Even when you're fighting like the bear, I guess we always want to attack the boss at end game, so it's much easier when they're single target and they're not random. But this is a hell of a lot of damage. What's going on? What's going on? What's destroyed you? As always, I have a problem because people don't take me seriously because I have been diagnosed with... okay. Okay, I don't know if anybody asked, but okay. I hope you're doing well. Does that mean if the boar has no tusks, she'll attack him? Yes, that does mean that. If it's one target, she's going to attack that one target 6 times, which is the highest, could be the highest damage in the game that we've seen so far. And I played her in beta, and in beta, she did this more times. In beta, she would attack one random enemy, and then down here, I had multiple random targets hit, and I leveled her up, and it was nuts. And she has the ability to polymorph, right, to crowd control people. Morning, how's it going, Goro? Good to see everybody. Hope you're doing well. With her jig, her impish jig. Yeah, I want to level her up and definitely play test her some more because it's nuts what she can do. And then Niklas, again, if you get skills into there, it's nuts what he can do. But that's later on with skill books. But I still think out the gate, we're still talking about a 360 multiplier. Wait, this is, never mind. We need to go to her, not in the codex. We need to go to mine down here. So we're almost talking a 300 multiplier. Still not the same. Well, it's 2 vigor though. Still not the same as Rosier's flame relic starting out at 355. But this is the relic that comes with this girl, so that's good. And it's still almost 300%. So that's pretty nice with a chance to polymorph. Plus, she's got a backup heal if you need it. Heals all allies by her attack percentage, which will probably have high attack. I would. Remove 1 debuff from all allies, and then grants them attack increase 2 for 1 turn. And then a small percentage chance to polymorph your whole entire team. Turn them into rodents or sheep or whatever they do. I started playing yesterday. I'm currently re-rolling account. Any good tips for who to look for after this patch? After the patch, who to look for? As far as legendary heroes? Just a legendary hero. If you're going to re-roll, just re-roll till you get a legendary. You're going to get Morgan and just go with it. I would just pick up whatever legendary as long as it's not an additional copy of Tristan or Lot. If it's anybody else, I would probably go with it. I don't know how big you are into re-rolling, but re-roll and summon on the Bedivere banner as much as possible when you re-roll. Try to get Bedivere. If you get him, great. Start that account. This game gives you a lot. It really does. What's going on with Kay? What hero we need to play? Yeah, we need to know what hero we need to play right now for the most damage, right? Is Arthur good with big investment? Pez, I don't think with big investment, is he good? That's what we're looking at because there is a video with Arthur nuking, but it's not. You got to remember whenever you see anything happen, what kind of gear did they have? What kind of skill increases did they have? You can't just take it at face value. You got to know what's going on. Otherwise, can you emulate what's happening there? Can you do the same thing as them? Odds are maybe not. What is 86 bore? That's not even stage 10. Okay, that was Arthur's win relic right there on skill 3. You saw it? Okay, first things first. This is stage 7, I think. If that's what that means up there with that icon. He's at level 86, so I need to see what level 86 is. Arthur's going in with the Storm Relic at level 8. I mean, I could almost one-shot the board back in the day with the Bond on level 10, so... I don't know how much... That looks very deceiving. Extremely deceiving if we don't know what's going on. No, that's level 10. So level 10, and then I'm sure he's got his... Yeah, it's 10. I'm sure he's got the Storm Relic maxed out, which, again, that's the multipliers we're talking about. Between using a hero when you first get them, and then using a hero after you can skill them. So with him, he's at 218, and then he gets additional damage on Frost. Now, his Storm Relic for Frost is the best for S3, because it's 218% of attack, and then, of course, if you're attacking something that's Frost, you get a big jump. So really good for something with Frost. Not so good, really basic. And then he's got 383 maxed. So if this guy has him maxed out, just to make him look good, 6-star gear to make him look good, at 383 multiplier, he could have come in there with Rosier, with no books, and done 355 multiplier. And it's AoE, and we get a chance to do a 10% hook, which is going to do additional damage, and put up dots. So does Arthur look good if you have him completely booked out with insane gear? Yeah, I mean, a lot of things do, right? But if you have Rosier's Flame Relic, why go through all the trouble of that other stuff? I didn't even see him do Chivalry 8 either, so it didn't look like he had Chivalry 8 on that one. So we need to know more information for sure. Good evening. What's going on? Still worthy investment on bond? I have mine at 5-star. On Morgan Focus, yeah, I use Vigor along with effect accuracy. Always. I use Vigor on almost everybody. We got to have this effect accuracy, or you could get effect accuracy from something like, I think this one. So you wouldn't necessarily have to do that, but I've got her in effect accuracy along with the Vigor set. I'm not trying to get a lot of damage out of her. I'm just trying to apply those debuffs so my DPS can get damage. My main pure damage dealers can go in there and do damage when she applies all those debuffs. So I want to level up Ardeon. How do we say her name? How do we say this fairy's name again? I got a Google pronunciation on this. Ardwin? I think it's Ardwin. Okay, I got to level this girl up so we can play with her because she does look really fun for random. Now, do any of her other relics, and this is another thing, we got to check their relics because not all relics are equal. Sometimes they can have the same ability, but the multiplier here will be lower or higher. Like, see, this is 77%. It's doing the same exact skill, except this is 93%. Like, no different. It's really weird. Okay, attack multiplier 27. And this has got an attack multiplier that's even higher. So it's doing 93 higher. And it's got, I don't know, it's kind of weird when it does this. If it's going to be the same skill, I wish it would kind of just be the same multiplier. So she can do the jig here and do the jig here, and it's all lower. Well, this is 27 times 3. Polymorph rate goes up on this one. I guess that's why. So you have a higher percentage chance to polymorph for one turn. A 40% chance. Okay, I get it now. This one is only a 20%, and that goes up to a 40. This one is a 25%, and it goes up higher. Wait, that's 3? Now, if this one was 98 and then 27, this one would go higher. And wind. The last one looks about the same for everyone. Okay. And then remember her passive too. This is the other thing that was really good when I played her in beta. So she's going to do this ability. And if we can get lucky and get all these down to one random additional target, we're doing 300%. And then we can get down to 600% damage. But her passive also fires off another one when we do her skill 2. 70% chance to trigger when using skill 2, attack one random enemy, damage 80% of attack, 100% chance to inflict polymorph. But it's on a pretty long cooldown and there's only so many uses. I don't think it was this way in beta. I could swear this was different in beta. Like it was doing it more often and there wasn't a 5-turn going to a 4-turn cooldown. Yeah, even if we have the cooldown on this, it's every 5 turns. It'll happen, and then we got to wait till the 5th turn again for it to happen. So, I don't know. I guess we can kind of forget about that. The Secret Fey Art. And I haven't used this yet. 40% chance to trigger when an ally is hit. 100% chance to inflict Secret Fey Art on an enemy for 1 turn. Cannot target the hero who has used Secret Fey Art. What does that mean? Useless? I don't know if she's useless, but there is an uncommon Alan that I'm using in place of her, and he kind of does a better job than her. Somewhat. Muzan, what's happening, my man? At what point do you get the summons to see if you get a good summon to keep? That's the problem with the re-rolling, that you don't get a lot of summons. You have to use the King Arthur. Does everybody know about the code? I know there's some new people in here. I don't know if this code works still. What was it called? Join King Arthur. Join King Arthur, right? You got to use this code here, Join King Arthur. When you reach the castle, that'll give you 5 additional summons. 5 normal summons. And then use whatever crystals you have to summon on the current rate up banner. Use those summons, and then that's your reroll. Join King Arthur, right? Yeah. So there's not a lot to re-roll. That's the problem with the re-rolling. You only get 9 summons, maybe, at most, I think. And then you got to re-roll the account. How high is our base attack? What's going on? Damage, like here? This one? Yeah, I didn't look at everybody's base attack here. 571 compared to, say, like Arthur's Is this taking into account what level I have her right now? We have to go into the codex for that. If you want to compare base attack to base attack, we'd have to go to here. And does it show? Yeah, it does. Okay, so 1500. Look at that. 2180. Rosier, man. Killing it with that multiplier on that relic. I think that flame relic might get nerfed, man. If I can grab it and start playing it. What, Arthur? She had 1500. These guys got 2000. And then Niklaus has a really good random multiplier too, but he's at 1500 as well. So it looks like the ones that have, say, the 600 multiplier, he's only got a 400. But even with her with the 600, she does have lower base attack to work with. 1500 versus 2000. Gareth at 18, so she's kind of in between. And somebody mentioned Gareth earlier, and we didn't look over her. And I am curious to see what this attack will do. Has anybody played her at Chivalry 8? The Storm Guardian's promise grants Cyclone Fist for the rest of the battle. If the target has immunity when attacking, attack one enemy, dealing 10% of max HP. Now, does this mean that when you fight a boss, every time you attack the boss, because it's got immunity to abnormal status effects, do you always hit the boss for an additional 10% of max HP? I would assume that's what it means, right? Is it easier? Oh, yeah. Rosier, if you have her flame relic, yes. That's the thing with her. She's like got the highest starting multiplier. She's got high attack multipliers, and then she puts up poisons really easily, bleeds. And she can do the hook move. Question. If you could change Lot, what would you change? I don't know. I don't even look at Lot. I don't even bother with Lot. He's nowhere on my radar. There's nothing that I want to use him in right now. There's nothing that I can see that I want to really concentrate and level up Lot to use at this moment. So I see somebody do something crazy with him. Morgan, keep the account. Are you the one talking about re-rolling? Goo, are you talking about re-rolling there? Everybody gets Morgan. Every single re-roll account you do, every account you start, you're all going to get Morgan. Yeah. You're always going to get Morgan, if I can talk. Every single account, you get this 10 free pull, and it's the same exact heroes. It's Arthur, Morgan, Frederick, I don't know who else. A few other ones. Always the same. I don't even think Lot's for PvP. No, I would not make that statement that Lot is for PvP. I don't think anybody in-game is using Lot for PvP. I don't know, because I don't look at in-game PvP, but I do not think so. You got Bedivere? Congrats. Nice. 92 because I needed the accuracy bonus. And the freeze from his skill 3. Nice. Maybe he's really good for the Forbidden Dungeon because there are a lot of heroes in there that we can do Oblivion to stop their passives. And then again, yeah, your heroes, when they attack, they have a chance to freeze once you have that up. So maybe he's a Forbidden Dungeon kind of hero. He's pretty nuts with a fire relic. Yeah, I haven't played. I don't have the fire. Is that what he comes? If he doesn't come at us as fire, then yeah, I'm definitely not going to mess with him to try to get his flame relic. Where's old Lot? There he is. Yeah, he comes to us as Frost, so I'm not going to mess with that. But if you are using this to do the freeze, 30% chance to apply freeze to a single enemy whenever you attack, that is going to be pretty good crowd control. Now, if you do an AoE ability, do you have a 30% chance to freeze everyone you hit, or is it only just the main target? Because it says a single enemy for one turn. I'm curious if that's if you do AoE damage. Like if you do multi-hit AoE damage, would it then try to proc freeze off of the multi-hits? The attack speed decrease instead, right? The girl with two swords is not good? Oh, I don't know. They changed I still don't think she's good, but you're talking about Clarison, this legendary here. She's never been good. Even in beta, she wasn't good. I think they're going to have to buff her again. All I can tell you is, if you have Bedivere, you're not going to mess with her. Do not mess with her. Don't even try to mess with her. Does she do decreased defense? Yeah. But they increased her jaw twister damage, which I thought was one of her proc abilities, or one of her abilities maybe on her basic when you crit. Hold on, let me check it. So when attacking, attack 1 additional, yes, but it's on a 4-turn cooldown. So this is only going to happen every 5 turns. Wow, that's terrible. Bedivere does it, what is it, every like 3 turns, and then anytime he crits, he lowers that passive. Decrease defense 2. Okay, when attacking, decrease your passive cooldowns by 1 turn, but this is also on a long cooldown. So similar to Bedivere, this will go down to a 1-turn cooldown, so every 2 turns, she's going to decrease her passive cooldown. I still think that's going to be pretty long. See how it all kind of is very similar to how Bedivere works? He does. He beats her with 1 hand and using skill 2 instead of like a skill 3. Everything that Bedivere does just seems to be a better version of what she can do. Even the damage is like a huge better version. This is attacking 1 enemy for 59 and 7% ignoring defense. Bedivere is attacking 2 random enemies for 110% attack. Now the 20% ignore defense is his level 1 chivalry, but still way more damage. She can't even do 1 hit for 110. This guy's doing 2 hits for 110, and then he gets a chance, 100% chance to trigger upon critical hit, decrease your passive cooldown for 1 turn. And it's on a 1-turn cooldown, I think, and he gets pierced. I think hers goes to a 1-turn. Yeah, it goes to a 1-turn as well. And it's just when attacking. But this is sad. Like, completely sad compared to him. I don't get it. What I don't really understand is why they made another hero that's so similar to Bedivere. If you're going to make an attack hero, make that hero different. Come on, it's not that difficult. Make it completely different. So here we're going to attack 2 times. We're doing damage, and we get to trigger the 1 additional time if you trigger a critical hit, and it's only for 28. You know, everybody's skill 1 is pretty much pleb damage. It's really low. You barely even notice it. Attacks all enemies. Critical strike increase. What is the jaw twister part? Which one was jaw twister? So even this girl's total damage on a legendary looks lower than, I mean, it's lower overall damage than even Arthur skill 3. And maybe her base attack is higher. This is jaw twister. I thought they increased this. They increased this from 59 to like 80 something. Is it from this? Is it from doing skill? Hmm. $59% to 83%. So I'm guessing this 24 to the... Once she's skilled out, she can get a lot of turns in a row. Why is she getting turns in a row? Attack one enemy. Are you talking about attacks? Because turns and attacks are very different. If she's getting additional turns, where is she getting additional turn attack gauge from? This is attacking the enemy and then attacking 1 additional time if you crit. This is attacking all enemies, not doing anything else. Gain critical strike buff. I hope this is before you attack, just like Bedivere does. Attack 1 enemy. No additional turn meter here at all. Nothing to do additional turns. And then this is only giving you attack 1 additional enemy and ignore a little damage when attacking. Now Bedivere's is when he crits, right? Or I think this is when he's attacking too. When using skill 3, decrease defense. What do you mean additional turns? She's not getting additional turns. Oh, her chivalry 8. Okay, that's a different story. It's a totally different story. 7%, yes, that's just like, again, look at this Chivalry 1. Bedivere Chivalry 1 is 20% ignoring of defense for his. Same exact move, 20%, which his move hits way harder. Skill 2 grants critical strike, increase 2 for 2 turns, and charges their attack age by 40%. Okay, attack age 40% charge is nice. Cooldown 3 turns. Inflicts evasion rate, decrease 3 on all enemies for 3 turns. That's pretty nice. Reverberating, which one is that? When using skill 3, we get to lower their... Surging Confidence. 50% chance to trigger Jaw Twister for 1 turn and charge attack gauge by 70%. What's the cooldown on this? 4 turns? I would assume this is 4-turn cooldown. They didn't add it to here. What is Chivalry? Chivalry is when you get additional copies of a hero. So anybody can do a Chivalry increase, even down to uncommons. I think commons too. When you have duplicate copies of a hero, you can throw them into their Chivalry. And for the rares and the legendaries, they'll give you some really cool stat increases along with some nice augmentations to their abilities. But the commons and the uncommons, it will give them 5% attack, defense, and HP like 6 times, 5 times, and then more attack, defense, and HP on the side over here on the right-hand side. It's pretty nice. So it makes the uncommons much, much stronger. It's easier to get those uncommons to level them up. So when there's an uncommon that you're definitely going to use, you're going to want all this maxed out. Easy to max out, and it gives them a lot of raw stats so they can survive and do their job. Yeah, but I think this is going to be a 4-turn cooldown. Surging, if you keep swapping S2, eventually you'll trigger her cooldown and Chivalry proc. Surging Confidence has a 50% chance to trigger Jaw Twister for 1 turn. Attack gauge increase. Surging Confidence. Okay, what was that again? When we go in there and look at it. When attacking, decrease the cooldown. Okay, so it's just the passive. So all we got to do is attack. Which one do we want to use? She comes to us as Flame, right? She's nowhere near as good at Bedivere. I'm telling you right now. I don't care what you believe about her taking extra turns or something, but she's not. She never was, and she never will be. I don't know. And for something to be good at a Chivalry 8 for a legendary, that's a lot. That's a lot of additional copies of a legendary hero. I think that was it, but we can't tell. We can't tell here. I mean, the attack gauge comes up weird here, like really weird compared to what you're fighting. It just comes up so you can take a turn. Torin didn't change. She only changed for her Chivalry 8, so if you were playing her, she's going to play exactly the same way as always. How much accuracy do you need for in-game? I don't know. That just depends on what you're playing. Yo, is that Dan? Why does it say Dan Howman, Watcher of Realms, man? They got you to put Watchers of Realm in your name. What's going on, buddy? We don't know accuracy that needed in-game. It's going to depend on the encounter that you're facing, like how much accuracy, hit accuracy you need to make your heroes hit, how much effect accuracy you need for to land your debuffs. Nobody knows those stats yet for bosses and what we need to like minimize, maximize that in-game. Yeah. Unless you're fighting stage 10, 8, 9, 10 of Crom, or any of those gear farming dungeons, or some other bosses like that, because it doesn't seem like we need really any kind of major effect accuracy or hit accuracy on Goros. We don't need it on Boar. Bear, I haven't noticed it. I haven't noticed myself missing hits on Bear to where I would need... Oh, this is free. To where I would need hit accuracy. Now, I do notice my Bedivere missing all the time on a whole bunch of other bosses, so I know that I need hit accuracy on him, because he's missing. Like, Bedivere misses a lot. So I put some hit accuracy on him, and that fixed it. But as far as these bosses, except for this one you can miss a lot too. He's got evasion. So even if you use this little Alan as your lead, you're going to get a leader skill of hit accuracy, which is really cool. Hit accuracy of 15% really helps out. You don't want to miss your hits. You can still land debuffs even if you miss, but you don't want to list your hits. But nobody, I don't know the percentage we need to go for those. Yeah, nobody knows what you should be shooting for accuracy. If you're missing your attacks, then you need to get hit accuracy. If you're missing your debuffs, if you see resistance pop up, then you need to get effect accuracy. Nobody knows the numbers. I don't know the numbers. I haven't been going in there with effect accuracy of 56, making sure 100 attacks land, and then going back in there with effect accuracy of 45, making sure 100 attacks land, then going back in with 35, making sure 100 attacks land. I don't know, man. That's something you're going to have to test out or get from somebody else who's actually, logging all that information. Or if we eventually can get some data mined information on these bosses, then that'll make it 100 times easier. If we get the data mine information and we see what the resistance of this boss is, effect resistance, hit resistance is, and then we can go in and know where to put that. Infinite Magic Raid, what's going on? Nice, man. Fox Mode, what's going on, buddy? Thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate that. You need around 80 accuracy or so for 90 plus Forbidden Dungeon. Nice. Yo, Wix, what's happening, bud? Oh, what question was it? Oh, did Martin say something? Is Turin still good? Oh yeah, did I answer that? Yeah, she's still great. She hasn't changed. The change that you saw, if you listen to my video that I did on all the changes on YouTube last night, I explicitly say that the change that they made to Turin is just for her Chivalry 8. It didn't change the way you're playing her at all. Whatever you're doing with her before, she's going to do the same exact thing. If you were utilizing her Chivalry 8, which means you had 8 copies of her put into it, 8 copies of her, right? And you would notice that every once in a while, your heroes would go from whatever health, 40 health, 10 health, 90 health, all the way up to 100 health. That's what was happening. Now it's not as strong. Now it's not broken. That was with Chivalry 8. Just your heroes would get healed. They'd have a chance to heal up for 100%. Now they don't. Now they're going to heal for 30%, which is much more practical. It should have never been 100% heal. Just all of a sudden, people just start getting healed for 100%. It should have never been that. But she's playing the same exact way. She's still awesome. Yeah. What's going on, Wiggs? The being here during the Doom Tower times? Yeah. I know Doom Tower is a lot of fun. I kind of wish this tower had more big bosses like Doom Tower. I really do. And maybe they'll change that. The thing about games like this is I feel like they kind of get stuck on content that they have and they don't really go back and revise it, right? There are very few games that have taken older content and just gone back and revised. But I will say Solo Leveling Arise, Netmarble, the same game that runs this, same company, not the same division probably, but they have gone back and completely revised things. The gear dungeons you used to fight with the different bosses you would fight, they've revised that multiple times. The Brilliant Light, whatever dungeon where you fight all these big bosses, they've gone back and revised that and how the drops that you get there affect your account. So I wouldn't be surprised if one day maybe they come back through here and make it more like Raid and give us some big bosses. I don't think they'll probably do that, but it's possible. I wish games would kind of go back and do that. Make their older content more engaging. Like the Forbidden Dungeon is fun and I really enjoy it right now, but it still would be really cool if they had bosses like Raid has. I think Raid has the best tower out of any gacha game that I've ever played. Yeah. Epic 7 is cool. Summoner's Wars was always fun to do. Whatever other game we've played with dungeons, but Raid really with the bosses has hands down has the best one. And this one doesn't have exactly the same. I mean, we've got little bosses like this, like mini, I guess you could call them little mini bosses. Anybody beat this guy? I don't know what I have gear on these heroes. Yeah, she's got no gear. Let's just throw in somebody who has gear. I don't know who has gear. Okay, she's got equipment on. Let's just throw her in. But this dude gets a lot of speed and hits this really hard to hit. Right, he gets speed increase, abnormal status immunity, and then here I think which hit was it? No, he gets crazy when he gets under 50% HP, but I can't even get him under 50% HP because he's so tanky. Where was it when he's under 50% HP? Yeah, triggers this 50% or lower. Then he gains the stance of rage. So he's not even doing like his rage abilities. Right here, if you have Storm Rage, under 50%, he's going to hit even harder. If you have whatever, he's going to hit even harder. I can't even get him under 50%. And then over here with Uthir, you took Uthir out first? Yeah, I've tried to attack both of them before. But they're no joke. Like, Arthur's just going to come in here and wreck me in just a minute. I didn't have a chance to do anything. I need to crowd control Arthur, but he's got an abnormal status immunity. I could knock back his ultimate. You know, you can knock back all their ultimate gauges the whole time, I guess. I mean, I got to get stronger, right? It's not like I'm saying I should be able to beat this. I've got tons of gear I could make 5 and 6 star. I need to do tons of other ways to enhance my hero strength, so I'm not complaining at all. I'm just saying right now I'm getting my ass handed to me. Severely. So I need better gear. I haven't farmed gear in so long. Yeah. I love Clem and Sarah. Sarah to remove debuffs is awesome. Is anybody using Sarah for her skill 1 to block buffs on the dragon? Does it actually work? Right here, when using skill 1, we get the buff disruption for 1 turn. If I max this out, we could get 2 turns of buff disruption, and it would be on a 1-turn cooldown, which would be really awesome. Just to come in and have her do skill 1 on the dragon over and over, so he can't get buffs. Because Mark is putting up Mark is pretty crappy, you know. No, right here. I'm looking at it right now. It's buff disruption. It stops people from gaining buffs. Attack gauge disruption too, so it's really cool to put on the tiger. It's really cool to put on the tiger. That way you don't have to worry about taking out his like right arm or left arm, whichever one gives him the attack gauge increase. Or maybe it's both arms. But this buff disruption for 2 turns, I would think you could keep it up 100% if she'll keep applying it. Would keep the dragon locked down. You just focus the dragon the whole entire time. She's going to need effect accuracy for that, though. What's going on? Giggle? Honestly, I feel like Stu is playing pretty well so far tonight. What do you mean? Chat just like got a huge increase. I think it lagged. I think I got a little stamina. Look, we're capped out on stamina. Let's do a run. While we're all talking about stuff, let's do a run really quick. Wow. I really want saved gear slots. This is so annoying changing gear all the time. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but changing gear is a nightmare. And I don't need accuracy on her right now. But you know what? I'll throw it on her. I hope she's tanky enough for this encounter. I don't remember all the gear that I had on everybody. If I could do saved gear slots and then quickly say yes, save gear slot 3 right onto my Degenerate, nice. Then it'd be so easy to keep everything together. Okay, now he does need effect accuracy, and I don't remember Okay, that's it. All right. Should be good. So much going on in this game. There is a lot, right? There's a lot to keep us busy and a lot to have fun with. And now it's challenging without Bond being a crazy, insane nuker. I think it's much better. Clementine, Isolde. I don't really... Only thing I use Isolde for is this fight here. That's it. And as far as a healer for starting, I wouldn't use her as a starting healer because she just has a recovery over time. I would use Sarah or Clementine over Isolde starting out for sure. And I'm using her right now for a skill 3 and to extend dots. It's kind of on... It's on a really long cooldown to extend these dots, but it does make it faster. We're getting so many fast turns. They realize there's something from somewhere. That's the thing, right, James? There's so much going on in this game. You start building and start thinking about building someone for some different content. And then you're like, well, damn. Now I need to go over here and get some additional, like, level up their relic to make them stronger. So I need to work on that team. But now I need to go over here and level up their awakening ranks. So I got to work on that team. You know, it's like a slow, and then you got to go over, oh, we just lost our daughter. That's not going to work. He nuked my Anguish. I do wish Anguish was more consistent with putting up dots. I got to be honest. He was better. I think he was better in beta. Right now, you'd have to max him out to get a higher percentage chance to apply dots than what he's doing right now. Because my Anguish, sometimes I just... And he's not being resisted. He's just not having the ability to apply the dot. 50% chance, right? On the last 3 hits. I guess he's doing it. What'd you use today for the berry? Didn't deal any damage. Alkalon? Yeah, it's for... Alkalon, the only dungeon I use him on is bear. That's it. For his S2 to heal block. Why are they uncommons better than the legendaries? So that you can level them up. Because they're so much easier to level up. If you take an uncommon and look at how many mystical orbs it takes to level it up, how much gold it takes, just anything, it's a fraction of what it is for a legendary. Say you wanted to unlock, say you wanted to go to the favorite dungeon and unlock the 3 keepsakes. It's nothing compared to a legendary. A legendary, I need 80 legendary statues, and then I need so many pedestals for the very last one. And then I needed legendary on the whole time, right? I needed legendary along the way and so many pedestals, which take forever to get. With something like an uncommon, they're giving you a way to be able to do dungeons without having to invest heavy into these legendaries that take so many resources, which is awesome. So it's a smart thing. Yeah, well, because they're not really built for that. I don't think the Fae Queen is supposed to be like the Jarrett. And you want the Jarrett to be a better option than Fae Queen because, again, you want people to be able to progress in these dungeons without having to do those high investments in those legendaries. Now, some of these legendaries, I hate when somebody gets taken out here at the end. Some of these legendaries are great for in-game, and that's what is smart about this game. They did it really smart by saying, okay, here's an uncommon. You can do the dungeon with this uncommon, and then later on, if you want to invest in the legendary and do speed runs or faster, more efficient runs, you can invest in the legendary, which is going to take a lot. I think it's the smartest thing. Fire Tristan is hitting like a Mack truck. He used to before when his multiplier was like really high on that S3. I don't know about now. The dude was dead. I need better gear. I seriously need some better gear. If you don't have the Fairy Healer, which one? Sarah's the best healer for Bear. Is Bear doing some debuffs on you? Sarah's the best healer for anywhere where you're getting debuffs, like a speed decrease debuff on the boar. I can't remember what Bear's doing. I think I do use... No, I use Torn in the Bear one. I think the bear does decrease accuracy, but then Alkalon takes all those debuffs to himself, and then he applies the debuffs on the bear. So I don't have to worry about debuffs on bear with Alkalon in there. And I use Torn to stay alive on stage 9 because she gives me increased defense multiple times, and it's what keeps me alive. But I do use Sarah on board. I use Sarah anywhere else where I'm going to get some of those debuffs. Why Juju Sauce asking, we have a daughter. What's a daughter? What daughter? Whose daughter? Build everyone for a favorite dungeon, and then there's a lot of uncommons that are good for favorite dungeons too, and you don't want to go maxing out a whole bunch of legendaries or rares for favorite dungeons. I mean, you kind of you do want the rares. The rares are sweet. You feel like it makes legendaries bad? I don't think it makes legendaries bad at all. I think it makes legendaries in game, which is what legendary should be. Legendary should be, honestly, in any game we play, legendary should be PvP. That's just the way it is. The most effective thing for legendaries should be whales in PvP, and should be very in game for people to compete in something like what's it called? Dude, what is going on with him taking out my I'm gonna go back to my 3-man runs on 9. I do 9 so easy with 3-man run. I should look at my gear too to see what we've got. We didn't even beat it one time yet. Yeah, I think it's smart. Dan, if I built a game, this is the smartest way to build a game. You don't want somebody to be like, oh, I need a legendary. Like right now, if you needed a legendary to pass this just to get golden experience, nobody would play this game. You already need Degenerate in Frost, which is still hard to get because you got to look for it in the stupid shop. Or Flame, but really Frost is best because he takes too much damage. And then you need multiple copies of Degenerate because you want to make him stronger. You want to get that 5% increased attack defense, and it's brilliant. I mean, the way they designed everything here is brilliant. And then in-game runs, yeah, you can use legendaries once you get them powered up. But you're not going to have the ability to max out those legendaries and play those legendaries until later, so you need these uncommons to take their place. I think it's great. And what Degenerate does is awesome. Like the turn meter increase it gives us right here with that 400, 40% additional attack gauge over and over, and we can get that up to 60%. Is brilliant. He's a beast. I love it. Dragon Clear team. We lost our daughter. Yeah, we lost our daughter. We did. Not our daughter. We lost. If I lose Anguish, it's over with. That's why I'd rather have Fire Rosier in here, because I'd be using Fire Rosier everywhere, and she is more with her passive. She's more. What's the word? She's more reliable when it comes to applying dots. And the quicker we can apply dots, the faster this gets over with, and I don't have to worry about somebody dying here. Like at this point where somebody dies when he comes in and does that single target nuke, if I have dots being applied faster, I don't have to worry about it. He'll just die. Even if you take somebody out, at least... See... Oh, man. Maybe there's something on Anguish that this guy is just targeting. Because he usually goes in and kills my Isolde, honestly, is what he usually kills. And I don't know how targeting works in here, too. She won't come home? I can't find her either. It's been 14, 15 days and I can't find her. It's crazy. I've checked the relic shop every single day and she's not in there. Which makes me start to believe that maybe they need to have a better relic shop. Or... a way for us to save up and get the relic we want for rares, not necessarily for legendaries, but for rares and uncommons, especially for somebody like Degenerate. If you got bad RNG and you never saw Degerate's Frost relic, it would still be crazy hard for you to do Gorgos. And I didn't find his Frost relic or his Fire relic until 8 days in. It took quite a while. I don't know. Degerate's up here. We actually have him leveled up. It took a while. Effect accuracy. There's something that's leading him to come over here and attack my boy. More so than someone else. I have no idea what it is. Okay, we'll get more heals from this max HP. Let me see if he'll knock her out instead. They can. Legendaries can do it, but they need skill books, just like anything else. They need skills and they need to be advanced. Legendaries out the gate cannot always do what you would think they would do, right? Out the gate, she's only going to remove 1 dot. If she had skill books into her and she could remove multiple dots or block, you know, dot immunity if you had the right relic to do it, then sure, yeah, it'd be awesome to play her. But right when you get them, you got to really invest in them to make them massive. It's a big investment. 3 or 4 days regularly? So you're still learning. You only played 3 or 4 days out of 14 days? You got to get on it. Maybe if you have her other relic. I can't remember what Anya, the Fae Queen. I'm pretty sure she's got dot immunity on one of her, maybe her wind relic, which wind wouldn't be too good to bring in here. Wouldn't be the best relic to bring in here, wind. But I thought for sure one of her relics had some kind of dot immunity. Or if you're using Merlin, did you get Merlin? Because if you have Merlin, I would just play Merlin. I could be farming 9 right now with Merlin, Anguish, and Sarah. And it's simple. Because it's dot immunity. I don't have to worry about these dots. Ever. And we're strong enough to get through that. I don't know why. See, there he goes again for Anguish. Every single time he's going to single target hit Anguish, which I've never had this issue before. He always takes Sarah out. I don't know why he's going for Anguish, which is cool because maybe this is where we can find out what's happening. 1600 defense, 1200 HP. Maybe because he's the lowest HP. If that's the case, could I put Sarah as the lowest HP and have him take her out possibly? Recovery, HP. I mean, she really doesn't have much increasing her HP. She's just loaded with HP. I would love to know why an enemy targets somebody. Like in Raid, we could trick them. In Raid, we could trick somebody to have the lowest HP but highest defense, and we could have them go over there and attack them. So maybe it is lowest HP. Attack is 1300. We're not worried about his attack. He does have the highest. No, he doesn't even have the highest attack. 1358. No, he does barely have the highest attack. I need to go to the Awakening Dungeon. Maybe we can burn some there. All right, let's go over here and see what we can do. I gotta throw gear on everybody again. Okay, so I'm gonna take him out and put Bedivere in, I guess. Since Bedivere can hit Ardor right now. We'll keep her like that. That's fine. And then we need to give our little boy here some Vigor and Accuracy, which would, I guess would be the same set. Yeah, he's got on, right? Anguish has. Steal whatever he's got. Now, Speed Ring would be pretty sweet here, wouldn't it? For him, or who do you think we need some speed with? This guy's going to die quick. Let's put attack speed on him. Okay. Hit accuracy for a lead. Fire. Fire. Okay, we're using her fire instead of her frost, which I love. We're still using him in frost, of course. What healer do you guys use in here? I know. Gillian, but I don't have her leveled up yet. We need to do that. We just got her yesterday. Crazy summons yesterday if you guys weren't here. I need Gillian for the attack gauge reduction and attack gauge increase for my team. That would be best. Oh, Clementine reduces too. You're right. You're right. Clementine does. And we should have her ready to go. If not, we'll just slap all this gear that we have on her. Yeah, we can keep her win. Fire has a higher percentage, but wind's got more hits, so either one. I think fire is actually better for this encounter. For the 90% chance to knock it back. No, not Morgan. We don't want Morgan's gear. How much gold do I have? You got to pay attention to that gold because it'll go quick, man. It'll go away and you're going to be stuck. Like seriously, seriously stuck. Okay. Is that recovery? That's a nice recovery. I didn't know I had that one. All right, let's go to 8. Clem's here. I think everybody else is geared. Oh. Okay. I should have hit the boss with her. I don't know. I just like the full auto everything. If I can't do a full auto, I just kind of give up. If I go straight for him and then... What are you guys normally taking out? It's been such a long time since I've even focused this guy. Attack gauge. Triggers attack gauge to the left arm. Attack one time. Right. Attack speed. Protection. 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 Okay, so this is the right arm. The left arm is the one that increases. If I attack him straight on, though, I can't keep it down. Who do I get Chivalry 8 first? Sarah, English, or Kay? I mean, you have all the chivalries to do all those to 8? Because the chivalry isn't something that you just have and you can put it in whoever you want. Chivalry is an additional... is 8 copies of Sarah, 8 copies of English, and 8 copies of Kay. It's not... a chivalry token to put into whoever you want. If you have all of them and you have the ability to do all of them, then I would just do all of them. Oh, when you get them, again, it's just, they're separate. So it's whoever you get. Yeah. So if you have 8 copies of Sarah, then you just do 8 copies of Sarah. If you have 8 copies of English, you do English. Man, my teams are just getting destroyed. Oh, English was not. English is better beer is Frost, and I guess he's not strong enough. I gotta bring him up in power. He's just not strong enough to survive. Poor Betty. This is the first time I've used him in here over. See, things are so different now that I don't have a rare to fly in and just destroy. Let me see if I try to take out the arm first. What happens? Okay, debuffs are up. Nowhere near enough because we're about to get slapped. $1,200 on him. Oh, memory stones. Is that what you said? Memory stones? K. Anguish. I wouldn't mess with Anguish. I think Anguish is a bad investment. We're only using Anguish for 1 dungeon. I mean, if I had additional copies of Anguish, I would just put them into him, yes, so that we could get to his Chivalry 8. So we have a 50% chance to inflict another bleed so we can make the runs faster on Gorgos. But I'm hoping we're going to get the Frost, the Flame Rosier, and we don't have to worry about this. If we get Rosier and Flame, we don't even have to worry about this guy anymore. I can just shelf him and never play this dude again. But if you're using the Memory Stones and you're trying to level up, you could go for K's C8, but I don't think it's that important. I don't even notice this Boar's Resolve activating that often unless you're playing her in PvP or you're doing long fights. If you're doing long fights in dungeons against a dragon, then you'll notice it there. I don't notice it on Boar. I don't think it's pivotal to have that. And you said who else? Sarah? What is Sarah's? Cooldown is reduced by 1 turn. Changes dot damage taken decrease 2 to 3. Merciful protection. When using Seal 2, remove 1 dot from all allies, grants all allies dot. The cooldown gets reduced by 1. If you had her C8 along with this, that'd be cool. But you said Sarah, right? I'm sorry. Yeah, you don't need this either. Serpent is Morgan. She's a serpent too, and she's going to have the attack gauge immunity, but it's for 1 turn at the start of the battle. So I don't think any of those are required. I would just save your memory stones. Yeah, I would save those. I wouldn't be rushing to do any of those. I would wait till you play a little bit and you know which hero you definitely want to activate. Maybe you're going to get to some third one and you want to use those for that later on. It's something that you're really focusing on for those rares. But I wouldn't just rush out and use memory stones. I wouldn't use it on K. I wouldn't do it. I don't think it's worth it. Why not save them until you know that you have somebody that's a beast for content that you need to clear something with, and then you use it. Just because you have it doesn't mean you gotta use it. I wouldn't. Look, I've got memory stones right now, right? Yeah, I got enough to do too, but I'm not rushing out and doing it. There's too much to learn to go out and do that. And I don't have the right hero. Maybe when I get her, I think she's already maxed. I think she's pretty high. Maybe when I get Rosier's Flame Relic and she's an absolute beast and I want to invest in her, then I can invest in these last 2. Oh, wait. We got one more. Yeah, if I could just pull that Flame Relic, damn. Yeah, I would save. Use it before you lose it. I don't think that's the situation here. Oh, this costs a lot of gold to use those lower ones. Okay, what the hell, man? I can't run shit today. If I can't use Bedivere, our boy is still geared and he's still got a lot of protection. So let's throw him back in here and see what happens. I don't know if I took out the left arm first and I didn't worry about this turn meter increase. The right arm first and I didn't worry about the turn meter increase. And they just went straight for the boss? I'm not sure. See, now I don't have him in a vigor set, though. I kind of want to put my Bond back in a vigor set. I really don't like him in an attack set. I don't like him. There he is. I mean, I still think Bond's tearing it up. I just don't have survivability here. And I really don't know how I got through this before then. In 2 minutes, no less. I could go straight for him and see what happens. God damn. God damn. Maybe I was using Sarah to block so the left arm wouldn't matter if it gave him a attack gauge increase. Okay, is he knocking back the attack gauge? Do we have that? We could use a skill 2 to knock back the attack gauge instead. Yeah, we could. Instead of a skill 3. I think that's going to be better. We need constant attack gauge reduction. Need some shields? I wish I had some good shielder. Oh, we might have to drop down to 6. All right, let's see if we can lock him down. That right arm's still going to slap us, though. And the left arm's going to give him the attack gauge increase. No, man, I can't fight this guy like I did before. I feel like my account's so weak now. And I really have no idea how I beat him before on this stage in 2 minutes. Because, man, nothing is staying alive right now. I'm talking like there's no way I should have even been able to beat this before with the gear I have with the gear I have on my heroes. Sad. Secret boss buff? I don't think so. I just think that... All right, let's fight this one. This one only has a right arm, right? Left arm. Okay, attack gauge reduction, attack gauge reduction, attack gauge reduction, and then again attack gauge reduction. Okay, now Bond's fast enough to go in on this guy and kind of keep him locked down a bit until the left arm gives him an increase. And on this one, I had Sarah in here because it's huge, right? Yeah. It should be, too. Unless you have, like, Fire Rosier. Nobody's doing that kind of damage. But he's still doing great damage. This is a skill 2 he's using right now. This is not a skill 3. And she hits a random target. I actually don't like Clementine right there on that ability. We need to be using her skill 3. Oh, she's dead. Yeah, I guess with all that additional damage, man. For the fast stack skill 2, Rosier Flame wins over Anguish, hands down, for the skill 3. Dots, damage, AoE, everything. It's AoE, isn't it? No, it's single target. All right, let's go back to 7. We're not going to be able to keep 7 locked down, though. Even with her skill 3 coming in here. Let's see. No, everybody's knocking down. We need a speed reduction. And then I got to worry about the right arm. And then the left arm does the attack gauge increase, which it's about to do. And it did. But we still knock him down some. I can't survive that. How do you have a minimized window? Right now? Oh, just lower the resolution. I'll show you when I get in here in this fight. Oh, like how can you keep it full screen and have it windowed? Yeah, it doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me either. But if I want to kind of like make it windowed, go down to another resolution and do this. And it'll go smaller and it'll be so you can move it around now. But I can't do full screen windowed. Yeah. Would I 6-star Morgan or Bedivere first? What do you guys think? DPS? I would go with the DPS first. I would go with Bedivere first. Because Morgan can be your support and be tanky still and do whatever she needs to do to land the debuffs just fine. Unless you want Morgan to be your main DPSer. But you got Bedivere, so you might as well go ahead and do Bedivere first. Unless you have Flame Rosier, then I would do her first. Honestly. So much easier to level her up. I would. They heard you and saw the video and nerfed it. Look, it's not me, man. It's analytics. They have the analytics. Every single game company has analytics that they look at. Who's playing this hero how much hero is this damage doing on this boss? They can look at every detail of their game, and they do look at it. So they go and look at board 10, and they look at all the heroes that are being played on board 10, and they see how much damage that hero is doing. And so they just quickly look at their analytics and say, oh, everybody's using Bond on board 10. He's doing 300,000 damage. And then the next person is Bedivere on board 10, or this other hero on board 10, and they're doing 100,000 damage. Let me investigate and see what's going on. I don't know why people don't think that these companies don't have every single analytic you can think of. How many times this little red random piece has dropped in this boss right now. If they wanted to look it up, they could see everything. Yeah, I'm not saying people blame me, but I am curious what people think about stuff when in regards to like comments that I get on YouTube saying that this nerf was terrible and that it wasn't warranted, and that they shouldn't have nerfed Bond. It's just a bait and switch, so you have to get Bedivere or any kind of craziness like that. I mean, these people, and there's a lot of them, just don't understand how to make a healthy game and keep game balance. They just want an overpowered hero to be able to do content that they're not prepared for. Just like back in the day with what was his name, Rodos, right? I made so many videos saying Rodos needs to be nerfed in Raid Shadow Legends, and people hated me for it, but I just kept making them. Like over and over I would make them because people were clearing content with Rodos with like 2-star gear over and over. They were competing and doing things crazy because he had the abilities of like 5 different heroes matched into one, and they nerfed him like 2 times and he was still top tier even after those nerfs. It was so crazy. Like Rodos was so dumb when he came out. People could just do anything with the shittiest gear. It was so wild. And you can't run a game that way. You cannot have game balance and have people want to continue playing your game if you have heroes that fall so far out of line and you don't bring them in line. You can't, like, you got a couple options, right? You can either raise up 100 other heroes to be stronger, which then throws off game balance. So if you're going to level up 100 other heroes that are tuned for the game, the current difficulty of the game, that means then you got to go back and raise everything in the game. So why would you do that? It doesn't make sense. You're going to make all the bosses harder, mess with their numbers just because you're messing with the numbers of, because you've got a baseline for everything, right? You've got it all there. The game's ready to go. You've got it all worked out. So you got one hero functioning well outside the norm. You got to bring that hero in line. You can't just buff everybody else. It doesn't make any sense because then the game's out of whack. You got to have games balance so you have a healthy gameplay. So it's not just, okay, I have this one hero, I blow through everything, easy peasy, the game's boring. And people just don't understand that. They just seriously do not understand how these games would not survive if it was just, okay, I just punk through it all. Like I get my Rodos or I get my Bond, I have shitty gear and I just blow through it all and I'm like, this game done. They just don't understand it. They really don't. Pointing out bugs, good and bad ones. It's wild. Oh, Saf does. Oh, for Raid Shadow Legends. Yeah, right. Not even whaling, and it's not even about whaling. To be honest with you, it's that they're in game without having to have the proper gear to go through the proper play, which is part of the game, right? If I just do something and I'm in game, and I haven't had to go through the struggle of getting gear and leveling my heroes properly and going through the right game, the gameplay of leveling up all this, getting the gear, going over here, leveling up more, working on this dungeon, that dungeon, this dungeon. And like, what fun is that? That's not fun. That's like you going in and playing Call of Duty with some kind of cheat to let you do headshots or aimbot. I don't understand why that's fun for anybody. Like, even if you're the worst Call of Duty player in the world, I cannot understand why aim assist, where it just puts you on target, would be fun. I just don't get it. The fun part about games are learning, right? All the mechanics and what you need to do, and then going through the slow process to do all that so that you have the longevity in the game, to have something that you play for quite a long time. Give the people what we want. Jay Giggs and Stu. Yeah, Jay Giggs has been killing it. He's been playing free to play too. He hasn't. I don't think he's been spending any money, has he? That's on his second channel. I hope he does a Merry Xmas. Jake Giggs needs to do a Merry Christmas for it is Christmas time. I think we need to go back and listen to some Merry Xmas. Merry Raidmas. Hold on 1 second, please. I go over there and I comment on his Merry Raidmas song every year, and right now I can't even find it. Can anybody find a link to it? So we can get some cool Christmas music going on? Is it Raidmas? Ah, there we go. This deserves so many more views. There's 2 years ago.
Precious sacreds go. It's beginning to look.
Hold on 1 minute. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one I always listen to. See? See? Oh, you can't see chat. Look at chat. 2001, let's go. 2022, 2023. Rocking this Xmas.
A merry little Raidmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, your sacreds will be golden light.
Let me look around. Hold on 1 minute.
Have yourself a merry little Raidmas, as Sir Nick would say. From now on, our maintenance will be miles away. Teleria of your Raider friends who are dear to us, live in fear with us once more. Through the years, we all will have some Legos, if RNG allows. And if not, we'll swipe our visas loud and proud and myself a merry little raid mouse now. Raider friends who are dear to us, live in fear with us once more.
Recovery? Where's recovery?
Through the years, we all will have some Legos, if RNG allows.
I got my boy here on his Chivalry 8, which actually is pretty interesting because I'm not a big fan of Frederick, especially for his healing, but this one gives him, when you use a recovery skill, grants all allies recovery over time and increase attack 2 for 2 turns for his Chivalry 8, which then I feel like it makes him a million times better. 2-turn cooldown. So this should be up pretty often. As far as healing goes for Frederick, he's just not the healer we need with most things. Decent heals, transfers buffs from on an ally, trigger buff transfer. And then he used to have Mark. Like this used to be a rare that had Mark on his basic ability a long time ago. Way back in the day. And beta. Okay, they should be geared. This isn't good because my main damage dealer is her and she's really not looking awesome. But let's see if we can do this guy right here. Raidzilla's our top tier. So why is Merlin effect accuracy for Gorgos? Doesn't he hit his 2 effect 100% of the time? No. You got to have effect accuracy to overcome resist accuracy. It's totally different. When you see 100% on there, 100% just means that you have a 100% chance to let that ability fly off. Now you need to have it stick. You need to have it land. For it to land, then you do a check for your effect accuracy versus their resist. Yeah. So if it says 70% chance when you do an ability, that's a 70% chance for you to even try to cast it, for it to like take off, for it to activate. Damn, these guys are lighting us up. And he's not even doing his healing ability. He's doing some kind of crazy skill 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay. Actually, we need to change Morgan 2 to, I don't know if she's Frost right now or Flame. Let's get her into Frost. Let's get her into Frost just because it's higher. I think these guys we fight in the beginning are Wind, but we'll take them down with these two, hopefully. Yeah. Well, I would use HP percentage and the 2 HP, flat HP or HP percentage and the 2 top ones. And then the bottom ring, you use recovery percentage. I would use recovery percentage. It's much stronger. And then on the keepsakes, your belt and your orb, you can get recovery percentage. Once you have a recovery percentage on the ring, belt, and orb, it's massive. Like you're gonna notice the heals are completely different. It's crazy. Which makes me wonder what Sarah's got on her right now. I don't know if I took something from Sarah to put on Frederick, but she normally heals for 2,400. Let's see if we make it to this boss. So anybody else see any cool multipliers on rares? We looked over some of the rares. Some of the rares we did. I put back in 2024. Let's effing go. Which healer you go to? I would always level up Sarah or Clementine before I level up Isolde. Isolde is not a good healer for starting. To keep your team alive, she's not a good healer because she's just doing the recovery over time. If you're starting out in the game, I would always go for Clem, Sarah, or Torin if you have her skill, her chivalry 1. Or you could use her S3 to heal. She has a massive heal on her S3. Her skill 3. But I like using skill 2s if I can. It's much easier just all around. We don't have the damage for this. I think I would need to make Morgan have high damage. Well, it's not too terribly bad. We just lost Clarissan, which is unfortunate. Man, if we could pass this, fighting people are much easier than fighting this golem. Along with Gillian to keep her awake. Oh, you're talking about doing that. Oh, even when she's asleep, she still does that, is what they told me, Wix. They told me that she still does her Chivalry 8, that 10% chance to nuke everybody, even if she's asleep. Didn't you tell me that? Or somebody else in Discord told me that? And Isolde too, you have to have Chivalry 1 to make her heal on her skill 1. So out of the gate, Isolde is not the one you want to focus on. Oh, I thought you told me that she just does the attack over even if she's sleeping. She'll just do it again and then fall back asleep again. How does Morgan's aura work? Her aura here, you got a chance, a 25% chance to gain whenever you deal damage, to gain 15% of that damage dealt back as health. So every time you attack, you got a 25% chance to get 15% of whatever damage you're dealing back as health. That's basically how it works. Takes a lot to take legendaries up. I can't waste these pedestals. I need 50 pedestals for Bedivere. And then we need to find a dungeon to go work in now. Now that I actually need gear, I'm going to have to go farm a dungeon. I haven't had to farm dungeons because we had Bond. Like I haven't had to farm any gear at all because we had Bond. So my time in gear dungeons has been a few runs in the beginning. Like day 1 or day 2, I was in the first dragon, stage 4, for runs to get vigor sets. And then once I had those vigor sets, I went into the second dragon just to see how far I could go to like stage 7 or 8. And I was able to do that, but with Bond, so I probably can't do that anymore. And then I did the first dragon to maybe 7, but still never farming gear, just seeing how far I could go, not actually going in there and farming gear. Now I gotta farm some gear. Like for real, farm some gear now. Which is exciting. I've actually got to play. I can't just rely on Bond to take me everywhere. I've got to do stuff. I have 83. I don't know. These lower level ones are such a pain to get, so I'm going to hold on to those. Let's see if we can manual make it through this. Maybe we just need to concentrate a little bit more on what we were attacking. Let's get this increased attack buff. 40% additional attack. That's pretty nice from him. From his Chivalry 8. Oh, we didn't check to see her gear. Yeah, let's go for it. Where are all our debuffs? Right here? The middle? I wish this girl attacked like Bedivere. I really do. It'd be so nice. I think if we do her skill 3, we'll be okay. They're all in vigor sets. Everybody else, she should be doing her skill 3 pretty often. Oh, sorry. Blasting you guys with sound. Yeah, let's get some heals before we go to the big boss. Yeah, she's not. Something's going on with Sarah. She's not geared in her vigor set. I think we took a piece off and put it on Frederick. We need to correct that. Where's that attack increase? All right, this is single target. I think our second one is AoE. Attacks all enemies 70%. We get a crit rate increase. Let's get a decreased defense if we can. What is that? Evasion down by 30. Where's that increased attack from him? Well, here if we get a crit, we hit for a little bit. We hit for as hard as this ability. But we don't get a crit rate buff. Okay, we got the attack buff. Sweet. Now, if I do this... Okay, she can do her third ability now. Have you tried Bond? Yes, I have. And I'm using him in that set right now. I'm using him in an attack set. And it works out well. Well as can be expected. I mean... It's nowhere near like before. It's not going to be. Nobody's going to be. Nobody's going to be except for Rosier's Flame Relic. She's the only one. That shield is so big for the damage I have. It just feels massive. Oh, nice. Nice hits. There we go. We got a third one. Okay, pass that big boy. What's going on, Australia? Bill English? Good to have you, my man. Did I miss anybody's questions? If I did, make sure you repost. I don't see everything. The spoilers for the Forbidden Dungeon for future champs. For example, with a bear. Or stuff like that. Spoilers? Do you think so? Could be. Could be, sure. But we've seen Brennan, the octopus face guy, the Cthulhu looking dude. We've seen him in beta. We've actually played him. We got to play Joffrey, I think his name was. At the very first beta, we were playing Uther, Pendragon, Arthur's real father, and he had some really cool abilities as a legendary. I think he might have been a rare back then. Like really cool abilities to where he would parry a lot and not take damage. And then give some really cool buffs. Who else did we get to play? I think those were the three legendaries that I remember playing. But it's been a while. So I mean, like any game, they have tons of heroes, tons of content, 6 months, a year out. They have so many different builds with tons of content that they're already ready to drop, but you don't drop it right away, right? You got to do global launch first. Then you slowly bring the content, you bring additional heroes. And they'll do it. I mean, all games do it. How about Morgan's Wind? I've never used Morgan's Wind Relic. I think Wix can tell you about her Wind Relics. I know that other people have used the Wind Relic for one dragon. But I'm not sure exactly what they're doing. Ukraine in the house? What's going on? Insta-Volt Lego? Yeah, right? You want him buffed? Well, he might be good for content later on. We don't know yet. See, this already looks so much easier than us fighting that other guy. The Golem. Deef is down and sleep. What's that? On lot? But I'm so lost what I should be doing. I'm having trouble on the last stage of story. Last stage of story. 10-7. Rex, what's up, my man? Are you having problems on 10-7? What What rank are your heroes currently? And who are you using for that? Because you got to have damage. The biggest thing for that is damage. Like, you got to have 2 damage dealers will make it really easy if you go into 10-7. 2 people that can do a decent amount of damage. Even Morgan, if you have her kind of doing some damage with 2 people that do damage and then a healer. It's really a DPS race on Crom 10-7 story. What about Morgan? How about Morgan? What do you mean? Have you tried Bond yet? In different sets? Yeah, okay. Catching up on this chat. With Boar shenanigan, with the attack, ally attack, and their passive? I haven't tried that yet. You have Bedivere, Morgan, K, and a healer. Is K able to pop somebody out right away? Like, say K's the only person there for when you're fighting Crom. Is she able to get somebody out quickly? Because Bedivere is, right? And then Morgan, if she pops out, the best thing, like the best that I've seen is usually when you get somebody like Bedivere and then you get a healer immediately after, then you can kind of heal each other. Because when the boss, Crom, does that spit, you know, he rears back and he does that big spit. Does he like nuke somebody and take somebody out? Because you might need to make your guys level 50. You might need to make some... the lower, like you might need to take some rares up to 60, or at least not to 60, but 6-star, rank 6-star. Make them level 55 or so. They're all 50. Yeah, it's easier to make rares rank 6 than legendaries. Far easier. So you should do well in the... I mean, everybody's doing well in Boar. It doesn't matter if you're brand new, free to play, whatever. You should be doing like stage 7 in Boar pretty easily. So you can farm the materials you need to rank people up. I think Morgana is a name that they use on the other side of the world, outside of the US. That's why people say Morgana. Because in their lore and their history, that's been her name. It's never been Morgan. So for them growing up, it's always been that way, so that's what they call her. Is my assumption on that. Because there are a lot of people that do call her that. And I don't think it's from the States, the US. I think it's outside the US. Maybe you need better gear. I'm stuck on Boar 6 for Boar. Okay. You had to take your damage dealer to 55-ish. Yeah, it's all a process. So if you can farm Boar and get your guys a little bit stronger, because again, it's a damage race. And I don't know about farming gear. You really don't want to farm gear at this level, at this low level. You want to focus on, like, your stamina would much better. It would be used much better in something like Boar to level up heroes to get strength there over gear. Because you're not going to be farming, like, massive gear right now with the power that you have. I don't think so. Even though I was doing 2-star gear, I was fighting dragon. I don't know. I was fighting this dragon, but I wouldn't. You get huge increases from doing Boar, from leveling up your heroes, and then you're going to take those leveled up heroes once you beat 1-7, go over to Crom, beat Crom. You're going to go into hard, what is it? Hard 1-7, is it? Hard 1-4, and then you're going to unlock your passives. Then you go to hard 2-7. You're going to unlock the relic dungeon. So I would spend most of my time beating this guy and taking those rares up, the damage dealing rares, because they're easier to level up, which would be your K. Your Bedivere is going to take forever. And your Morgan's going to take forever. Those guys take a long time. And then once you can make it to 2-7 hard, you're going to unlock this guy. And you're going to level up your relics. Like, leveling up your ranks on your heroes and then leveling up your relics are your first 2 major improvements in your heroes. Like, power-wise. Even over gear. For the gear that you can farm. I mean, you do want gear. It's all, like, everything for us is always gear dependent. But you should be able to pick up gear in the Forge. You should be able to pick up gear just from doing quests. You'll pick up gear from doing story. I don't know when 3-star gear starts to come in. Maybe you get 3-star gear, 2 to 3-star gear on hard. Once you can beat Crom. Yeah, 2 to 3-star gear on hard. And I don't know how much better gear you're going to get if you spin. The thing is stamina, though, right? That's the real thing, is the amount of stamina you have to do everything with. So I would spend my stamina farming here to rank up heroes, farming here to rank up relics once you beat 2-7 hard. And that's the progression I would do, as opposed to wasting a whole bunch of stamina for random stuff and these dungeons right now, just starting out. I'm pretty sure you can get to 4. That's what I did. I got to 4 with 2-star gear, but I think my heroes were ranked 6. I don't know if they were all there. I think a couple of them were ranked 6. There might have been a few that were ranked 5. And then I did farm a little bit in here so I could craft some vigor sets, but that's the only real reason I was here on stage 4, was to craft vigor sets. Right. And that's it. I just farmed vigor sets, but I think the better use to gain power quicker, and since you have limited stamina, is to, like I said, do boar and then do this guy. But you got to get past 10-7. That's the hurdle, always 10-7. And I think 10-7 is the worst because of the fear. It's not really the encounter. It is the worst because you got to keep replaying it. What they need to do is just let you pick which hero is going to be the hero that stays. It's so stupid. Like, say I bring this team, let me right now just say, okay, I want Bedivere to be my one that stays and doesn't get eaten. Because having to replay this, I don't know any game that I've ever played before to where you got to just keep replaying it. Like, what if my healer was there? Or maybe my Morgan's not strong with DPS. She's there more for support. So she's not going to last, right? This is dumb. So basically, I'm just having to restart. Like, it's really... it's really so dumb that I can't believe it's here. Okay, now we got Bond. Okay, that's much better. That's much better. And then after this, I would kind of prefer to have my healer come out, because you're going to get spit on with this hard spit, and it hits extremely hard. Like right after this, boom. And see, there's Bond. Did you see the power of Bond? See, this is how crazy Bond was. He almost died there, but he got this from his chivalry. He got that boost back in HP. He's got some wild stuff. With as much damage as he was doing with all the other wild things he has, it was so crazy. So now without a healer here, I can do damage, but I'm still getting my ass handed to me. I mean, the true thing they need to do for this... Yeah, but even still, Guinevere in here, she's such wasted space. Like, I don't even want to bring Guinevere because she doesn't even do anything for our team. Like, she's just here so that we can have 3 out, and she's the only one that's digested. It's so dumb. The best thing for this encounter would be to have 2 heroes get eaten, which is fine. Like, are you trying to make the encounter to where we have to overcome it with logic and skills and make strategies for it? Or are you just trying to make it stupid RNG? Like, what are you trying to do? This is stupid RNG right here. This is dumb RNG. Nobody wants to play that. It needs to be 2 heroes that are left out there. It's so weird. It is. I've never seen anything like this in a game, and if it's the biggest complaint I have. I think it is. It's not challenging. When something's challenging, you have ways to overcome it in games like this. This is not challenging. This is complete RNG. It's dumb. It's really the worst. Luckily, it's only this boss. But unfortunately, you have to fight this boss on 10-7 when you start playing. And because those little things fear, and because it's RNG who you have, it's going to turn a lot of players off. Really and truly. It's going to, because not everybody's going around watching YouTube videos. They're not on Discord. They're just the normal players. And you don't want to lose those normal players over something so dumb that even us hardcore players think is completely stupid. Like, I don't know who signed off on this. I can't imagine they were like, oh, it's so clever. You have to keep replaying to try to get your 1 DPS out so you can do damage to get another hero out. It'll be so fun to watch them keep re-rolling, start over just to get that hero, and then to hope to get another. It's like, yeah, they did such a good job with everything else inside this game since beta. I can't believe that that's there. If it would have been there during beta, you would have heard us be really vocal about it. But unfortunately, it wasn't there during beta. Is based on RNG? Yes, it's based on RNG. Which hero you get? Completely based on RNG. You could run it 5 times and it could be your healer 5 times. You could run it 5 times. It could be your DPS. It could be your support. It could be, you know, whoever. But what it really needs to be is your damage, because you have to deal damage to it. You have to come in here. But once you're much stronger, once your damage dealer is much stronger, it's not too bad. There, on story mode. Like, here's hard story. Now, of course, I did this with Bond, and I even 3-starred it with Bond. A lot's changed since then. A lot's changed since the Bond days. So who flipping knows now? I'll put him back in there, and then I would have a healer. Who's got gear on? I knew she was missing a part of her recovery. All right, good enough. I just want a healer. So here we are on 2-7 hard. Okay, I got Morgan. She's not going to do enough damage to get somebody out. Not the way I ever build. And with the shitty gear I have on, no way. So basically it's done. Like, I mean, I can either sit here and just let it autoplay till I get spit on, or I can just restart. See how dumb this is? Oh, we got somebody out. Holy crap. Okay, is he going to spit soon? Luckily, he hit my Bond. Now, again, everybody's giving crap on Bond, but when Bond gets low in health, he's going to jump back up. So without a healer out right now, this is pretty good. But I still need a healer because Morgan's going to die. Okay, a little late. A little late. She's dead. It's just, it's like RNG, man. That's all that is right there is RNG. And then on top of all that RNG, I could have been feared. I could have had fear that would stop me from doing any action. Okay, we got lucky again, and we got our damage dealer out. So, and he almost hit the mark to bring somebody else out. Almost. Okay, if he doesn't spit on Bedivere, that's going to be pretty decent, I guess. Okay, that's fine. Now Bedivere is going to hit pretty hard. Nobody's feared, thank goodness. Bond just jumped up in HP. It's what saved us here. Otherwise, if it was a different DPSer, obviously he'd be dead very soon. Nothing you could do about it. Even if a healer comes out right now, we just don't have enough time to get some heals. And it didn't. So now he's going to spin on me. Again, my Bond, which is pretty tanky, so I got lucky. Now we got him. Now we've got the 80%, 40% damage taken plus decreased defense. So this guy's going to take some serious damage. And if he would have been attacking Morgan, or if he would have been attacking Bedivere, they would be dead right now. Again, Bond just has the survivability along with the damage. Now we can get some healing. Woo! I should have saved that for Bedivere's skill too. And then once you're done here, you got to go into the next phase. But this phase doesn't really hit you hard. Like, it really doesn't hit hard. I just go straight for the face. We need some more Morgan debuffs up on him. As long as you're full health. But see, look, we're confused right now, which still, I don't mind this confusion mechanic in here. It can be really annoying, but it's not terrible. It's much better than having like 1 or 2 guys out and being feared in that first process. At least your whole team should be out now. And then this is just multi-hits on him, which you're going to do. He's taking 1 damage now, but soon he's going to take a lot of damage. That's easy to get past. And then at this part, he'll start taking full damage. And you do kind of have to do enough damage to him in a certain amount of time. Otherwise, it's not this blast. I don't think it's this blast. It's a different blast. Yeah, this one's weak. It's the next one. Like, if you don't kill him in the next, I don't know how many hits, he's going to kill your whole entire team. So, pretty unique. It's definitely unique on its own without him digesting everybody. I think it's pretty cool boss fight. But him only popping out 1 is really dumb. What did I miss? The uncommon hero? Ah, I like him. The one that does decreased defense of the decreased defense 2. And he gets increased attack whenever he crits. And he's going to crit. I like him, man. I think he was great in beta. And I think he's going to be great still now. If you want to invest into him. I really think he's going to be good. So we've got, when attacking, there's an 80% chance for you to gain stealth. So you can't be targeted by single target abilities. After triggering a critical strike, your attack gauge is up and you get attack 2. Now this happens, he does a multi-hit, I thought, on his skill 3. So it can happen on the first hit and then you have that attack increase on the next hit. From what I remember. So attack increase 2 is really strong. Attack all enemies. No, it's only 1 hit here. He used to have, I thought he had a 2-hit like AoE. No, only 1 hit on all these. Well, it's decreased defense too. But he used to be stronger because he'd have, I think he had 2 hits. Like the first hit could proc the debuff or get the buff, and then the second hit would be much harder. But yes, decreased defense 2 on an uncommon along with 177, plus he gets 23, 23, 23. This is AoE. I think it's a really high numbers, right? Defense rate goes up to 90, and we can go for 2 turns of decreased defense. This one is the same thing, except single target. We get the decreased defense. He's going to stealth, and then he's going to get increased attack. If he crit, he's going to get the increased attack and attack gauge. Now, this is going to be on a 2-turn cooldown, so it's only going to happen every 3 turns once you have this. But still pretty good. I decreased defense 2, right? And attack 2 on himself from time to time. I think he's going to be fun. And then they're easier to get their chivalry done, so he should have all these attack increases. 5% attack, defense, HP, all the way across the board. We can get some more attack here. Attack speed. I wish he had hit. I wish I had hit accuracy so we wouldn't miss. I feel like that's what we really need in these chivalries. Don't worry about the eyes. Yeah, I would go for the face at that point. And I love her counterattack. Yeah, 40% chance to counterattack. If you have her chivalry, she can counterattack immediately when you come in. I use her when I want to take down something fast. If I'm going through story mode, hard, or even hell, and I've got 2 strong DPS champions, I bring her in for the crit lead. I think it's easier to pick over here. 20% crit lead instead of critical damage with Bedivere if I need the crit. And then I'll bring her in like this. So then immediately my team has, because I think I have Chivalry 3. I'm pretty sure that's the one that gives it to her. So we already have it on us right now to counterattack. Then I get up my debuffs with Morgan. Fly and do some damage. Well, usually she's faster though. I have her built faster than the rest. So right now she could have already had the increased damage buff up on my team. See the counterattack twice, but now the critical strike damage. No. Yeah, critical strike damage. Where's hers? I thought it was a different one. This is the critical strike damage is 60%. So she's giving you a crit lead, plus she's giving you critical strike damage, and she can double up on this. I think it's a 60% chance to do it when she casts. 60% chance to grant allies attack increase 2. Pretty sure it was critical strike increase. So it's fun. I don't think counterattacking does a lot of damage though. 2,700 there. That's 484. 678. I mean, it's additional damage, especially if somebody AoEs and all your guys come back in there and attack. It's pretty cool. Who's Deadbolt? Oh, Deadbolt's in here? And doing the opposite? What's going on, my man? Yeah, no problem, Rex. Gomez, how you doing today? Loving the new game? Yeah, man, Deadbolt isn't even playing, is he? All right, I'm gonna jump out of here. I need to work on some stuff, man. I gotta really go farm some gear. I gotta work on my teams and see what's going on now. And I gotta try to bring up some other rare rare DPS hero that's gonna get some damage in there. Really, it's gear. It's gear because Bon is doing the damage still that I need. But I need to farm some gear. I think I'm at the point now. I've been playing for 14 days. I haven't been farming any dungeons. I need to get in there and farm and then craft some stuff that makes sense for my teams. This is 4 and 5 star crafting material. Okay, that's good. And it looks like I got a little bit of this 5 and 6 star. But what stage do we have to fight to get 5 and 6 star? Is it 8 or do we have to go higher than 8? That's where the party is, man. Always. How you doing? I hope everybody's having a great day. Enjoying your time with some King Arthur. I'm not sure if 8 gives us 5 and 6 star gear. Is Wix here? What stage gives us the 5 and 6 star gear drop? I guess we could see from the drops here. I don't think this is the material we need for 5 and 6 star though. Like this isn't high enough. It's got to be 9. I think we could only craft 4 and 5 star with 8. Maybe 6 star can drop, but as far as the crafting materials, no, only 4 and 5 star. Still, see 8. No, 8 doesn't look like it. 8 looks like it only drops 4 and 5 star gear, and then these crafting materials here aren't high enough to do. I don't think this blue, the iron one, isn't. It's got to be the gold one. Yeah, see, this is gold for 5 and 6 star gear to craft. That's only going to craft us 4 to 5 star, which is still fine. I need a lot of 4 to 5. I need some 5 star for sure. Yeah, we got to do 9 and 10. Even 9 and 10 for a 5 to 6 star gear drop. So that's really the place. We got to formulate teams to beat one of the dungeons. I don't even care if it's just one, for everybody to focus on. Like whatever's the easiest. To beat 9 though. Where's my B-Born? There's B-Born. There's old man. There's old man with marks. He's coming up. B-Born, we got his passive up. Let's see if I can increase that passive even more right now. Because it's really, you got to have this passive. Without B-Born's passives, this guy does not apply enough marks to make it even worth having him on your team. We're a little low. We'll have to see about that. Hey, let's check out this pack that I bought. Let's see how many. Okay, so it's 200 tomes. These are to level your skills, your actual skills for your heroes. This is 200 of them, but it's ranging from common to legendary. How many rare and legendary do you think we're going to get out of 200? I bet this is so bad. Actually, it says rate info right here. What's this called? A tome, common to legendary tome, common tome chest. It's giving us the rates over here. Where's the common one? Awakening, Frost, Polished. 2 legendaries. Are we going to get any rares? I think this is a ripoff. That's why I wanted to get it to see what happens. But at least if I could level up my uncommons quicker with their skills just to test them, it'd be faster than getting these skill books from the dungeons every day. We only get 5 runs. Uncommon tome chest. Is this uncommon? This is common. Here it is. It's at the very bottom of this list. Here's our chances to get everything out of this. This one, common to legendary. We got a 4% chance to get a legendary, quantity of 2. Is that right? Or do we have a 12% chance? They haven't broken down. Don't we have a 12% chance to get a legendary here? And a 24% chance to get a rare? Common, uncommon. All right, let's see. Here we go. Good luck, everybody. Good luck on your common to legendary chest. Is that legendary over here with fire? Is that the right color? Is that gold? That's a lot of fire. 150 of these ones for uncommons. 100 of the fire. Jesus. I don't like seeing it be so... I kind of wish... I don't know. Look, we've got... There's Frost. Is that the Frost version? Where's the Frost version of the common? Okay, so 80, 150, 100. I definitely prefer this to be like 100, 100, 100, but whatever. 80, 100, 150 isn't bad, although wind really went hard with that 150. And then if we look at the next stage up, which is the little... Where's the flame? There's the flame one. Where's the wind one? It's hard for me to see these. There's the wind one. So 35, 55, 30. Okay, that's not bad for the uncommon. And rare, 30, 30, 33. Pretty equal. Legendaries, we got 6, 4, 14. So it went hard into fire. This wasn't a bad deal, honestly. I don't think this was a bad deal. And it is a lot of skill books to level up some uncommons, I guess. Commons. We'll see. Oh, that was only 100. That was only our first 100. What? Yeah, it is. It's like 10 books per skill, and there's like 30 skills, and then it goes random. It's going into like the skill 1 all the time, right? It's maddening. That was only the first 100, though. I'd have thought it opened up all, but nope. Okay, didn't it go hard into wind before? Again? 160 in the fire, wind. And then I guess Frost got shafted for 70. 21 rare, wind. 9 rare, flame. 42 Frost. Pretty cool. But again, like you said, it takes like 10 and then 15 and then 20 and then 30 books and then 40 books. Who knows? It could take like 100 books, especially for the legendaries. Insane amount of books to do those. It gets wild. I think that offer was $29.99. Yeah. $29.99 for that offer. Yeah, I just did the other 100. That was 100. And then I looked and I said, "Oh, 100 again? Awesome." So we did both. We did 200 total. Yeah. Yeah, $29.99. It's a good deal for $29.99. I don't know if you're free to play, obviously, or a low spender. You got to really micromanage what you're gonna spend your money on. What is this deal? See, I like this deal, but I like this deal normally when it gives me 10 summons and 400 crystals. This deal normally, all the same price, gives me 10 summons with 400 crystals, or it's $5 for something really cool like this. This deal would also give me, for $20, the 20 but 800 crystals. They're killing us. Look, they're throwing in bullshit stuff that we don't care about. I mean, 3 to 6 star gear could get lucky. I like all the stamina. I guess that's not that bad. And then they're just going to give you Bedivere straight out. But don't buy this. For $100, you can get so many summons to... Well, I take that back. You can get so many summons to have a chance to get Bedivere, because it's a 50% chance every time you get a legendary. But you realize if you buy this for $100, you could spend $100 on so many deals and probably do like 2 legendaries. Might not be Bedivere because it's a 50% chance when you summon on that banner, but you could easily summon for 2 legendaries for the same cost as this. And you've got a 50-50 chance out of those 2 legendary summons to get him. This just doesn't seem worth it to me. I'd rather buy the summon deals and just get a whole bunch of other heroes, get a whole bunch of chivalries for other heroes, than spend money and go for that. It's too much. When there's other great deals out there, you know. Lucky earlier and all the rares. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All the rares and uncommons, so many things. So much chivalry. And then you can trade those in to get heroes you're missing, right? Is that what you're saying? Get this boosted up and get those from the relic shop. Shard shop's what they call it, right? All right, guys, I'm going to take off. It's almost 1 p.m. I'm going to hit the gym, get outside, see what's going on, get some lunch, and then I'm going to come back and see about some video ideas. I think I want to talk about all the rares like we talked about earlier. I'm going to do this spreadsheet on the rares and kind of look at their minimum maximum damages for skill 2, skill 3s. I'm going to talk about the rares that I think that are good for starting, like people starting the game, what they should focus on. And then the rares that long term later on with some skill books, what they could hopefully go toward. But there's nothing, I don't think there's anything in the game that can compete with Rosier's flame relics. There's just not. It doesn't go up, but it also is the strongest. Like it's not going up. We don't have any skills to increase the 355 percentage damage, but it's also like insane. You get her flame relic and you're doing dots, which you're going to use on Gorgos. She's got the hook ability at a 10% chance to cast that. 355% damage is nutso compared to anyone else's multipliers. Even if we take Arthur and we put all these skill books into him, which would cost like 500 skill books, so you're not doing that anytime soon, even as a whale, because you're limited, 388. So even fully maxed out, Arthur starts to catch up to her. But we're talking like so many resources to do that. It could go into a skill 2, it could go into a skill 3 for his wind weapon. And then down here, somebody like Turin, and then Bon going up to 220% of attack and 0.4% of speed. And Niklaus, if he has all of the skills into the skill 2, he can go up to 432%. Random targets, where she's at 355 straight out. It's crazy. And this is 6 hits. So this is probably one of the craziest, though. If we can get that little fairy... Oh, let's look at her right now and see if we can get her skills. Hold on, before we call it. Let's go look at her really fast and see if we can get this maxed out. Flame. Okay, here's another thing. Wix, what hero element do we use the most for every single dungeon? Like if we take into account every element there is out there, for Boar is neutral, Crom and Kronos or whatever his name is, those are both neutral. But we've got Bear, Tiger, and then the dragons. And the dragons are fire, frost, wind. So what hero element do we use the most? I wonder. So I wouldn't be using her on Bear, I can tell you that, because she is frost. But we would use... She has another one. Does this have the highest multipliers? We looked at it earlier. This has a higher percentage chance to polymorph. This one has high multipliers. This will take it up to almost exactly the same as this one. This one just has a 5% chance higher to polymorph. You're hooked? Any tips? Yeah. We've got lots of tips from all the videos. Rosier's nerf soon. I don't know. It could be. It's not like Bond to where you summon him and you use his base weapon. It's something that you got to go find her weapon in the relic shop, and I still haven't been able to find it with all the days I'm playing. So I'm not sure that they would nerf her because you got to get the relic. But book skill. Let's look at skill books. Okay, we've got 99. But we got to go in here and get all of these frost. Is Niklaus frost too? Because I don't want to... Wait. That was fire. Okay, fire 99. Let's look at him. He's wind. Wind, and I already hit one time into the skill 2. So I don't have that many. Look, 6 increases. I'm going to waste this, and then I'm going to find something else later on that's going to be like some kind of wind awesome hero, right? Like some wind beast hero. Let's go back to our original one. If we increase her damage 20%, this is actually pretty good. Like, this is actually really good. %, that's 208 total for a skill 2. That would be pretty nice. Plus we've got wind Arthur we can level up too and try to get hits into him. For 33, 33, 33. Right? But we didn't have anybody in fire, so I think we're safe to try out the fire girl. Oh, we have Rosie. Oh, no. If we get Rosier, that's right. Hers doesn't increase her multipliers. So that's good. We don't have to worry about books with her. And fire. Flame. Is there anybody else in flame that we've been looking at? Now, let's just try it. What is she good for? Everything. Her multipliers are so high. She does dots. She does this special hook ability, a 10% chance. She is good as your main DPS everywhere. As long as she's not dying to somebody that's like Bear, that's Frost. But it's so strong. If you can get her Flame Relic from the Shard Shop, do it. Okay, you guys want to try this and see what happens? That's right. When she counterattacks, she uses her skill 2 as well. Oh. So, can you imagine if this girl counterattacks and she uses the skill 2? And we have it to where it's doing 800% damage? Okay, we're going to do this, but it's on a long cooldown. I don't really care about that either. Yeah, could you imagine her counterattacking with that? Let's see if we get lucky. Let's try a few. Here we go. Let's see what it goes up to as well. It starts out at 10. Does anybody have a list of this? Do they have a list of this on their website? Because it seems like they've got all the other cool enchanting skills. Error. I just hit this rate up button up here and it gave me nothing. Does anybody have a list of what it takes? Like how many books? Come on, skill 2. Skill 2 for days. Shit. How many skill 1s does she have? So many skill 1 increases. All right, 10. 10, we're not going to get it. We'd have to go 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, it's 10, 10, 10. Oh, there we go. Skill 2. 33% still is awesome. We're getting 3 hits. This is almost as much as Rosier now. Base and but it's random targets. So still not as good as Rosier yet, and we've been putting books into her. And it goes up to 15 on the 4th one. Oh, we got a hit. We got a hit. But it was polymorph, right? Yeah. 10, 10, 15. Maybe it's 10, 10, 15, 15, 15 for 3. Yes. Yes, yes. Woo, let's go. Could you imagine if we hit this, guys? 15 for 4. So it's 10, 10, 10, 10 3 times, and then 15 4 times so far. If this hits, this means that she's going to go from 360% damage to 720% damage. 720% damage, guys. Did you hear that? 720% damage. Here's the thing. It's not going to hit. It's going to go into 1 or 3, and then we're forever going to be right there at this like precipice of having an amazing hero, like a most broken hero ever. And then it goes up to 20. This is it. We got one last chance. 33% chance to hit what we need. No, it didn't. And then now to get books, like to get these books, it's random every single day. It's so random. Damn. Yeah, because, okay, 360% damage is cool, but it's random. It's still not, it's still right at the 355% that Rosiera is, but we just get this. And you would think it'd be one random target 3 times. You think it's going to be one more random target. I don't even know if it is. Maybe we've been wasting that. It's one more random. Maybe we've been wasting this when we could have just come here and tested. No, it's 2 random targets 3 times each. But just to make sure, we should see 6 hits here. We do, and that's the passive firing off. So 6 hits. That was the 120 each. It's right. And she's kind of lame to be doing that much damage. I mean, look at her. She's like a little lame fairy. She's not even as cool as like these legendary ones. And she's giggling. Do you hear her giggle whenever she does it? She's like, gig, 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 gig. Man, if I could hit that, I'd take her into arena as well. But remember, her attack, her base attack is lower than other people's base attack. Her base attack is 150, where Rosier's is 2,000. And Arthur's is 2,000. So that's going to play a factor in this. But she is a bit lame to be knocking off all that damage, I feel like. Hey, what's going on? All right, guys, I'm going to take off. Thanks for joining me. Appreciate the love and support. I will see you guys later on. If you're not in my Discord, come and join our Discord. It's down below. You can do !Discord in Twitch right now, or you can see it down below in Twitch. Everybody's in the Discord. So many guides, lots of helpful people to help you out day and night. And then subscribe. Subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can see the newest videos coming out tonight.